Good morning, it's Sherry here. I'm just about running off to work. So I wanted to share with you, if you're a Canadian, some tax season tips before you take your papers into your accountants. I've been doing that for this tax season, been working on taxes for people, and I used to do that over 30 years ago when I worked for the same company in a different location. So, and I've recently switched jobs, so I'm back doing it again. So, your tip, are you sending in your medical information to your tax preparer so they can look at that information, and you may or may not be eligible. It all depends on your revenue and what your bottom line on your tax return is. But if they don't get that information, they cannot help you with it. So gather up all your prescription receipts, all your vision bills, your chiropractor, massage is kind of an iffy one, any of your medical trips. So you've gathered them all up for you to take to your accountant, put them all together, and turn around and list. Say you had to go to a doctor's appointment, and I don't mean 5 minutes downtown. Say it was over. You're a country person, perhaps, or say you lived in a remote area and you have to drive over 100 kilometers, and you'll have to ask me later if you want the exact kilometers. If you had to drive, say, 2 hours to get to your doctor's appointment, write all those down. And if someone else had to go with you, or you had to take someone because, say, you had to take a child to a doctor's appointment, well, write down how many people went, if they're legitimate reasons, not just because they were going for the ride, but say you had to take grandma to her appointment and she could no longer see to drive, so that would be 2 people. Now, so write all those trips down and how many people went, because in Revenue Canada's eyes, if you had to travel for your medical, you can claim that. But if your tax preparer is not aware that you had to do it, they can't help you with it. So make a little list, write it down on a paper, and because you get to claim mileage in Canada, the rate changes every year. This year it's 0.50 for mileage, so 50 cents, where last year it was less. It changes every year. We find out in about February. And you can also claim for meals without having to have your receipt. So let's say, for example, somebody in my family had a back problem. Let's say they were a child and I had to take them for, say, 10 checkups in the city that happened to be 300 kilometers away. Okay, now my appointments maybe didn't cost me anything to go to, because maybe that was covered by Canada Healthcare or whatever, but I still had to drive there and take time out of my day and stuff like that. So list all those trips and take them into your tax preparer. Depending on where your tax is, you may or may not be able to use that as a deduction. You won't necessarily get tax back, but it may reduce some of the tax you paid in, and maybe you have to either pay less or get a refund. So it's well worth taking a look at. If you want more details on it, what you can claim and what you can't, reach out to me and I can get you a link to show you what Revenue Canada does in its eyes. And so basically, jot everything down and give a list to your tax preparer so they can help you. If they don't know about it, you're not going to get to claim that, right? Another way is, if say you got a whole bunch of prescriptions, go to your pharmacist and get them to print out your list of prescriptions. Now, if you go by if you go buy vitamins at the pharmacy, see there, I'm combining words, making new ones. So you buy vitamins and supplements, they aren't eligible in Revenue Canada's eyes for deductions. But if it's prescribed by a doctor and there's a prescription, you can claim it. So it's well worth your while. it's up to you whether you want to see if you can get a little more back from Revenue Canada if you paid in, or maybe not have to pay as much. Or if you don't want to, that's fine. Just let Revenue Canada keep the money. They'll be happy too. Anyways, hopefully that helped you. If you know somebody that could use this information, feel free to share it. Just go down below and share it. And thanks for leaving comments. And good morning, Lynn, and good morning, Kathy. Get my lives done first thing in the morning before I take off to work. And then when I come home from work, I have time to repurpose them for other purposes. So anyways, if this will help you, go for it. If it'll help somebody you know, share it. If you need more information, click that button. Send me a private message. When I get home, I'll be able to answer you because I'm off to prepare taxes right now. Bye, everyone. Have an awesome day.